not married or to have kids. But on the second thought, I'm still like, oh man.
Okay, so please, communities, chiefs, elders, the Umuna, the council, we would like a subsidy on bride price so that, Andrew can get on the wagon. After the break, we'll talk about this. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It's the front page 92.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Sam Oracle Chinedu. My guest is Ifeemi. Andrew, you're welcome once again, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks.
So we're talking about the resumption of schools, which of course happened this week. Parents whose kids attend private schools in Port Harcourt also complained about the recent increase in school fees and how it is affecting them.
We resume school today now. You are asking us to buy another uniform, which at least you can give us some time before we buy another uniform. You are complaining about the textbook as well. The other sister uses textbook, which you have promoted another class now. You are saying you cannot use the sister textbook again. And you want me to pay another money. Private school just increase school price, periodical, just like that. It's uncalled for.
For now, the school fees is still normal, like the last time. But when you get to the market, you find out that cost of school bags, lunch bag, everything is on the high increase. The single parents,
they pay like 15, but now na 20. Before you pay exam fee, this, that, 30 something. Even as na new class now, where the boy just enter now about 40 something. It's not easy.
Andrew, you can feel the pain in their voices.
You see what I said?
And this affects everyone at every level. Those who are paying small, you heard someone talk about 15.
If added to 30
exactly.
or 35.
Those who are paying 100, everybody
150,
is affected.
170.
What's your take?
I think the schools are not I think we are not being fair to ourselves as human beings. This is the truth. I'll give you an example. Let me give you a critical example. When COVID came, right, it was shocking to find most of the popular hotels could provide for homeless people. They were able to provide in the States, it was serious, because I was looking at some of the big hotels, and they had, they made provisions for homeless people. They had beds for them. They could sleep, and, all of that stuff. Like, the lesson I got out of that, and their business was still running. It wasn't like their business shut down. I don't know if you get the point. So the lesson I learned from that is, as human beings, as a community, human beings, the ability to be able to understand that I'm doing something to make profit, but I should also be aware of when I'm becoming too concerned about the profit. Because as far as I'm concerned, the schools now are largely focused on not even the education that they give. It's largely on how much they're making. How can you tell me that when I was growing up, my brother, I don't know whether your family produce one biology book for everybody, as long as you're a science student. The biology textbook that you are using is what your younger brother will use, is what, And now, tell me it's not deliberate. Because now you have to buy, and you're buying from the school. You're not going to buy outside. So
okay.
I think, in as much as I understand, the school would give their own explanation and say the cost of running them, the school.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
It's difficult. How much do they pay their teachers? Which school in this, like right now, secondary school, let's give an example, in this Rivers State, pays their teachers what the school fees of a child is? Let's say you have a school fees for a friend of mine in the school he attends. The child's school fees is 100,000.
Okay.
Now, they are about, give or take, let's just take a sample, 200 students.
Okay.
Right? And then the staff are not even up to 20.
All right.
Guess how much security guy is getting? 20,000.
Okay, so here's the thing,
15,000.
Right? Here's the thing. Now, you are arguing from the parents' perspective, which is understandable.
Not like I don't understand the school's perspective too.
Yes, so these schools have a business to run. That's one. Two, there is a business model, which means they have ways that they have designed or plugged into which would help them make
money,
maximize profit. While it is important to be considerate, sometimes you see the things that they put up and you're like, come on. You kind of have to think, is it possible that these schools have also considered all of this, and the inflation,
and what they came out with is the best they could?
Exactly. The inflation that is biting the parent is also biting them, because it's costing them to run, some, depending on the school, of course, private or public, there are things that they run. There is running cost.
Yeah.
So maybe if they stuck to the old fees, they will be out of business.
All right, let me say something. I think the solution to this, a very standard, prominent solution to this would be, the government schools have to be very up to standard. One, the government needs to ensure that its schools are up to standard. One. Number two, we don't have to sell the idea that if you don't go to school, your life is over. No, I'm not saying you can't have basic education. Understand?
Thank you for adding that, because my response was going to be for basic education.
Basic education,
you have to
need
get
it.
that.
You should be able to write,
you have
speak
to get
English, at least communicate and write, and that's basic. That's what you need to have. And sometimes having that does never require you going to school.
No, hold on.
Let's
not do that.
I'm not saying don't go to school. No.
For basic,
let us be real. Let us be real. Let us be real.
Andrew, wait.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you know how many parents, like, we're not adopting that now, do home school for their kids?
Yeah, I mean, you have people who do that.
Which school Michael Jackson children go?
I know.
They did not go any school. I'm just saying. No, I'm just giving you instance.
I know Michael Jackson neighbor to know where
understand
they go.
Now. They did not go
we don't know how they are doing in life. They didn't. They might be frustrated. What?
No, I'm talking for acquiring basic education.
Okay.
Which is, it was a question I asked my teacher in secondary school. The definition for school, they'll always say one of the education is for you to know how to read and write.
That's right.
And so I asked him, I can read and write now. What next? That was my question. I was like in JS1, if not my primary. No, I was in primary 5, I think.
Yeah.
I said, so I asked him, Auntie, now that I can read and write. Okay, it was my home lesson teacher I was asking, what next? And he was looking at me. So my point is this. I feel like there's a lot of pressure now. There are people that just go to the school because everybody is saying if you don't go to, you are nothing, you are useless. I'm not saying that it's wrong to go to school. I don't want people to get me wrong. But if we have various avenues where people know that they can still be relevant in society.
Lots of options.
Yes, a lot of options.
Yeah.
The pressure would now split. And so it's better to manage. You can now understand. We don't have do we in this River State? I can tell you that government does not have data of how many children are in all their schools, government schools.
Andrew, you're on your own.
I'm saying it now. If government has it, government will come out and say, Andrew, what you said, we have it.
I'm not saying you're on your own to say that, what you've said is right or wrong. But that I'm not interested in following you down that path. Now, it's time for you to join us. 0817-923-0002. We've talked about MOHBAD's passing and the darkness of the industry and, of course, schools resuming and the hike in school fees. But my response to what you've said, Andrew, is I believe that for basic education, please let the child get that from school. You see,
makes a lot of sense.
What the child gets from school is not just the academic, the educational, it's also the social. And it's a part that a lot of us ignore. We'll just go to school and learn. But you see, school is one of the early places where a child gets their first set of friends. Because we are so focused on the classroom activity, the 1+1.
I disagree to an extent, though. But
one of the first places, right? If you look at a child who just started school, who just started talking, who just started reading and writing, and you check who are this child's friends, they usually come from 3 places. 1, his neighborhood, maybe if they have neighbors. 2, his friends in class
and church.
Exactly. Of course. That is where a child will get first set of friends. So I don't think you should deprive a child of that social part of their lives. Because we are going through a financial and we do homeschooling. So for basic, I think let the child go to school for that basic. Let them enjoy everything that comes with, right? As they grow into, further levels of, you can now say, you can do homeschooling or this, but let them go to school for basic.
All right. Ultimately, all right, I also think that we need to restructure our curriculum, what we teach our kids in schools. Like we have to be deliberate about these things. I don't think we are. We are still at the level of just build the school, put class desk. We've not really looked at retrain and train the teachers. We've not looked at, as a people, what kind of students do we want to produce?
Yeah.
Because the students that we produce should be the ones that will be able to, on the larger scale, feed our economic plan or feed our social plan, or as a state or as a nation. I'm saying this because there was a time I really took my time to look at what China does, and my word,
I rather leave China, please.
I'm telling you now, this thing we are saying
China is not a good example for anything. Because those guys are not on anybody's level.
North Korea.
Let's take calls. 0817-923-0002. Apologies for that. Please call back if you can. 0817-923-0003. Please turn off your radio as you call. The entertainment industry is dark. This is a message on WhatsApp. That's a secret hiding in plain sight. But some people are naive, desperate, so they go in regardless. My advice to anyone who wants to enter the entertainment industry is don't let anyone, including agents or even parents who want to blackmail you into taking care of them and or your siblings, push you into signing deals you will regret. Know you and love you so you can look out for yourself. Say no and not be triggered by applause. I'm not in the music part of the industry, but the kinds of things I've seen and deals I've walked away from, I say it in public. Civilians will not believe me. And that's from an anonymous source. Thank you for sending that. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, please call back if you can. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
I am Comrade Aking.
All right, go ahead.
I want to lend my voice this morning. The discussion you're having is a very nice one.
Okay.
I asked a teacher in the public school.
All right.
The time of education is that which can never be overemphasized. Because that is where a child is groomed from.
Yeah.
For the child to grow, he has to receive the basic education, which is very important.
That's right.
But what we are having today, I want to make it very publicly. In River State, we are having a problem.
What's the problem?
What is the problem? Our basic education is having is more or less in the state of tomatoes. Why am I saying that?
Tell me.
It will shock you. It will shock you that we don't have teachers, enough teachers in the schools. I'm calling from the Kana Agri.
Okay.
Kana public schools. I'm talking of the data I have at hand. Kana has 79 primary schools, public primary schools. But out of these 79 schools, up to 23 of these schools do not have a single teacher. It will shock you what I'm telling you.
Wow.
And these are schools built by government. Children are there. But no
But
teacher
it
is
says
there.
no single teacher.
That's what he said.
It's a sad situation. How do we grow these children? And everybody, not every parent has the wherewithal to send their children to private schools because of the expensive nature of private schools. And most of these people in government, they benefited from public schools.
Yes.
I don't know why they are paying leave service to public schools and basic schools for that matter.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
It's across the board.
I must move on now. I mean, the public education of our childhood was top notch. The quality was
good.
Yeah, was really good. We have a lot of people in high places today who would always, refer to I
in our time.
I finished from community secondary school in so and so place, and it was I don't know why the investment in education, because it's an investment by successive governments, is really going down. I have no idea whether they don't value education.
Maybe our leaders are not futuristic enough.
Well.
Hence, they don't see the importance that they ought to attach to it.
Where do we find these futuristic leaders to vote in? Hello, good morning. Hello. I'm hoping there's nothing wrong with the phone lines. Please keep the calls coming in. 08179230002. Let's go to WhatsApp. The price of everything is high. Private schools are run by individuals like you. They also need to make their money. The one that we should talk about is the rise in fees of any federal university. Good morning, guys. Have you wondered why, no matter how much these guys cry out for help in the music industry, as seen in Nigeria, for threat to their lives, no one responds. All of them know what the game is. The truth is, you look for fame and relevance, they assure you of it with a price. You agree, get in, get the fame and relevance, and you suddenly want to leave, claiming the label is into robbery, drugs, blah blah blah.
Brings us to the leaked sex videos.
That's
in the industry.
That's interesting. He's claiming the label is into robbery and drugs. Okay. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. What's your name? Please turn off your radio.
I want to ask.
Okay.
Do you operate free education and reverse state?
What?
Do you operate free education and reverse state?
Well,
that's what the government claims.
State government says free education. Yes, I don't think anybody pays school fees in government schools. If you pay, then you'd have to.
But that still has resumed now. You can see registration into public schools. Some places charge more than 40,000-30,000. Then you have free education.
Well, I know that some parents have complained about some charges. We've always heard this story.
Yeah, of extra charges that come.
They say we should pay this, we should pay that, but on paper, education is free. I have my reservations about that, though. I don't think education should be free. I feel there should be an intervention for it to be subsidized, but I don't believe it should be
totally
free, personally. All right, let's move on. We'll be taking your thoughts. We're live on Facebook and Twitter. That means you can watch as you listen. I have a few comments on Facebook, which I'll be taking shortly. This is news that I don't want to say I've been expecting, but it has confirmed my reservations. Those who use cooking gas as an alternative to petrol to power their generating sets are in danger of a gas explosion. Now, these are not my words. The warning comes after the Nigeria police earlier warned users of liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, and compressed natural gas, CNG, about its volatile nature. Speaking to correspondent Soibi Oruwari, a former process coordinator at the Port Harcourt refinery, Tony Walia, advised users of LPG as alternative for fuel to be aware of the danger involved. Let me see. I thought I had that. Yes, I did.
Like those who are using LPG for generator, cooking gas for generator, they advise that they should send it very far from the generator because it's close and it's a generator that radiates heat and the cylinder start getting hot. Once the heat on the cylinder is above the temperature that is designed to hold, it will explode. And if there's any leakage on the pipe we are using for cooking now is designed purely for cooking. By the time you introduce it to a generator and there's a leakage, it will cause combustion, inflate anywhere. So you don't put your cylinder under heat.
Mr. Well also says the increased demand for liquefied natural gas is partly to blame for the scarcity of the product.
The demand for gas now is high because many people are using it for their generators at home. The marketers and those who are in the business are trying to capitalize on the rush for it and increase price. That's one thing. Apart from LNG producing gas, the refineries are not producing gas, so they're importing gas as it is today. The LPG is being imported massively. And if they're importing it and they are going to use dollar to import it, definitely the price will be based on the current value of naira to dollar.
If you hear me, Andrew, I have always had my reservation about powering my generator with gas. From the first time I heard of it.
You don't need rocket science, my brother,
right?
to know that this thing would be very dangerous. When people were saying, I'm like, what are you saying? Do you know how light gas is? Okay, we say the density of kerosene to petrol. Petrol is lighter. And so you see how and then you move it to gas. And first off, I said the car was not originally designed to run by gas, or the generator was not designed originally from the factory to run on gas. So you cannot tell me I would not have to trust one individual on the corner here to now put something and the generator will now switch. No, I'm not taking that risk.
I'm sure the engineers would have a perfect explanation, right? As to powering the generator does not is not concerned about what the power source is.
It just needs fuel.
It just needs exactly. It needs some form of fuel. Once it gets fuel, it generates electricity.
The manufacturers designed it to use a certain kind of. When they were designing it in their mind, it's a certain kind of fuel they had. Okay. Petrol.
So now
they did not even think of diesel. Oh, yeah, use diesel now.
No, wait. Now we have hybrid generators, right? That from design, it's not modification. It's not you buying something. We have generators now that from design there is a space for using gas.
That's different.
And there's a space for using fuel.
That's different.
So we understand that this is the architecture. The plan has been drawn with that in mind.
And so the kind of materials used to design it would be one that would have in mind that gas would enter here, so we need to understand, we need to know what we're doing.
But these conversations, what the experts have said is around risks. So the precaution that you and I will have to take.
Yeah,
it's not like the gen cannot do what it needs to do. I mean, there is the volatility of gas. I've always seen gas as something to be very careful of, even with just cooking.
Yes,
right? Because we've seen all these videos
gas can explode on its own,
that have put the fear of God in us. My former boss, somewhere I used to work, till tomorrow, he never uses gas. That guy still finds a way to use stove.
He's just scared.
He had an experience where a friend of his, there was a gas explosion and this guy was burnt beyond recognition. And according to him, he was the one tending to this guy while he was in the hospital. So he saw the pain.
And because of that.
So in his home, I still remember the small argument he had with his wife, saying we know they use gas for this house. Now he has lived with that fear. Of course, I think he should grow beyond the fear. But you can understand people who have seen.
He still does he have a car?
Yeah, he does have a car.
I never see accident before.
No, so to now tell me that you power your generator, I know that if we have an expert in the studio, they will break it down to the point where it is safe because of this.
We don't need experts. We don't need experts.
That's
no.
I'm just concerned. It
Do you know what you're saying? If it was not designed. Use your phone to operate this console now. It wasn't designed for it. It's not because you can't make modifications. I'm sure there are some apps that you would download into your phone and you could operate this TV. You could at least turn it off, turn it on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that it would function as effective as the remote control that was designed for the television. I don't think that makes sense. So people should not tell me. I'm not saying that it's not possible to convert, but I think it's safest if it comes manufactured for that particular purpose.
Well, there are conversations around the
sense.
kind of gas you should use. And the former NNPC staff also highlighted the difference between LPG and CNG. He says one contains propane and the other methane. So let's hear from him and let the people know which gas is, I'm guessing, safer.
The LPG is more delicate. The LPG is the cooking gas I'm talking about. It's very delicate because if you watch, even when you are using the house, they tell you put the cylinder outside your house. But the CNG, because it's designed to be used as an alternative fuel for vehicle, there's a special place they put it in your car boot. And the cylinder is quite different from the cooking gas cylinder. If you watch foreign cars that come with gas cylinder, you see that the type of gas cylinder they have is not the one we use for domestic purpose.
All right. So there you have it, the warning that the gas to be used for generators and cars is CNG, not LPG. So people need to be careful. Let me see. Can we take a message?
We should.
Okay. Maybe one call. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
I'm sorry, please, I would like to remain anonymous.
All right. Please go ahead.
Concerning this, I have a brother that does music, so somehow I have the first-hand information.
Concerning what, my dear?
The music industry thing.
Okay, music industry.
The music industry in Nigeria, yeah.
Okay.
I would like to not mention his name because I mentioned his name. He has not really read Lagos Arts and all that, so he gives me first-hand information. I thought that
Okay.
the industry will be like everything with the fear. Most of these guys are conscious of what they actually joined. You understand?
Yeah.
Shout out to the families of MOHBAD, the Civil Peace and all of that. But away from him, basically, these guys are conscious of what they went in. There's like a secret course. You come in, okay, see, these are our guys in school those days. Most of them don't come to class, but they are just part of this course and that course. The faculty of the dean has seen many times. He's also part of them. And you see, they just pay their dues, go about activities, killing, doing whatever, and at the end of the day, they get their results. That's how it is in this industry, my brother. So even when they've gotten what they wanted and they want to opt out, it's not possible like that. You sign this thing, you don't get the fame, you don't see the money. All of a sudden, now you say you won't go solo, you won't keep your own level. How now? My brother, let's be realistic. So the advice to all upcoming is they should pray to God that someone finds them the same way God raises the whiny guy. Now you say go blow past this level, but somehow.
Oh
God
my goodness!
I get your point, my brother.
I didn't see that comment.
But what he said, I had a friend. The group I was on TikTok were talking with, the guy said, I might not have the fame in the Nollywood. I'm not the biggest director, but at least I have what is enough for me to live a comfortable life and take care of myself. That's it. If it's going to cost me my life or cost me pain, if it's not going to be good success, that's how the guy puts it. I don't need it.
Well, it is. When you're dealing with fame and fortune, an industry that gives you that, you should understand that people would trade things they have no business trading. You've heard of some people sell their soul. As you know, flimsy as it sounds, it's actually what happens. People trade a lot for fame and fortune, which they have no business trading. So yes, there is a dark side to the industry. That one is a statement of fact. Allegedly, Naira Marley, NDLE ambassador, used his label signee to push illicit drugs.
That's wrong. He's not NDLE ambassador.
And that was why MOHBAD wanted out and caused a problem. He just didn't breach their contract. Well, I'm glad you started with allegedly. And the NDLEA said they used Naira Marley for the campaign.
He's not an ambassador.
They clearly made that statement. Good morning, Mr. Simon Andrew. The school have expenses and if they are increasing staff salaries as the fees go up, I'm 100% in support for fees hike.
Exactly, my brother.
However,
same thing I said.
They can look out for book publishers and can sell only new workbooks and patronize them instead of textbook and workbook Siamese twins pattern. As for statistics, Mr. Andrew, the Rivers State government has everything. In fact, this week, they want to call all governments, primary and secondary schools to get the number of students that resumed on the first day.
To get my
But
brother,
what
I
they
don't think
do
you got
with
it.
What they do with it is really the issue. Nothing. Text from Oyibo says.
Listen what I'm saying it again. I don't believe that the government, like in Rivers State, has an idea of how many students are in all the public schools.
Text is telling us that there is work. There are plans in place to ensure
that's a plan in
there
place.
There is an accurate database.
Can you? Is there
we have to go for this break, Andrew.
We're not
it's
going
okay. Come on, be going.
PHED prepaid meter upgrade. PHED prepaid.